What can you add to mac and cheese to make it taste better? Canadian checking in. Canned tuna and sriracha sauce, sub out for a curry power is nice too. Broccoli and hot dogs, put into noodle water 1 minute before done to save on cleanup. Grainy mustard and pan-seared ham. One my fave things to do for mac and cheese is to add fried jalapenos and fried onions to the top layer 10 minutes before it's done. I usually buy them already cut up and fried. I just beat them up in the bag to make them into smaller crumbs. My family thinks it's a delicious and not overpowering spice to my recipe. Mustard powder and smoked paprika into the flour when you're making the roux. And change up the cheese. A decent smoked cheese makes it so good. And crispy bacon. Coleman's mustard. That stuff is fantastic. And it cuts down the amount of cheese you need if you are low. Also good in scrambled eggs. Breadcrumbs. Chili flakes. Crushed salted crisps and extra cheese on top when you top it in the oven. Adds a spicy crispy layer with gooey cheesy mac and cheese goodness inside, preferably with bacon in there. If you're talking about basic boxed Kraft mac and cheese, seasoning salt over the top of the finished product will completely elevate it. Season to taste OFC. Bacon is another good alternative. But much more expensive than seasoning salt. Are you talking like add a thing to some ready existing mac and cheese? Cause chorizo. Or add to some mac and cheese I'm making from scratch? Cause Gruyere. Emmental, Gouda, cheddar, paprika, mustard powder. And then chorizo. Make some bacon and chop it up. Mix with breadcrumbs. Put your cooked mac and cheese in a casserole dish. Top with bacon and breadcrumb mix. Throw it in the oven for 10 minutes at 375 degrees. Ladies, what's something positive in your life right now? I finally got out of depression I had for 10 years with therapy and I have the best therapist I could ask for. I'm also in a healthy relationship for the first time in my life and he loves me unconditionally and has never made me question if he loves me or not. I also have an amazing best friend whose mental health is also getting better one step at a time and I'm so happy for them. Also summer is my 4-year anniversary of quitting drugs. There's so many good things in my life right now and I can honestly say I'm sincerely happy for the first time in my life. After breaking up last year with my selfish ex of 5 years, I've recently started dating again and am about to go on my 3rd date with a wonderful guy. What I'm loving is that he's giving clear signals. Telling me that he wants to see me again and that he's really enjoyed our date so far. None of these silly games. Now I've just got to build up the courage to kiss him after our date today. I've been going through a lot mentally for the last couple of weeks. And after almost completely throwing away my amazing 7-year relationship, I finally took the step to get help and went to my first therapy appointment yesterday. Just that one appointment has me on cloud 9. My mind feels lighter and clearer than it has in ages and I feel so happy. And I can't wait to see where therapy takes me. My doggie. I adopted her 3 months ago after fostering her. I never planned on adopting her. I took her on as an emergency foster. It's always been my dream to own my own dog and thought it probably would never happen. She's not what I pictured. Here I was pining after a golden retriever all my life, but she's an Amstaff and she's just such an affectionate dog and pretty chill, apart from her zoomies after walk. Love how she snuggles up to me and love she's totally chill with my cat. Is it racist for a woman who is alone to avoid a path early in the morning just because a black man was on there? Yeah right, she just changed her path cause he was black. If he looked like Steve Urkel, then she wouldn't have cared. It's a masculine featured black man most likely. She just focuses on the black because that is the most easily noticeable discernible feature. If she saw a gang member looking Asian, white, or Hispanic she would have made the same choice. She has at least mild racist views to say the least. Statistically she isn't wrong. But for her to assume so drastically that she wouldn't do the same for other races is stupid and hints at racism. Depends on if she does this as a general rule of thumb. Most women I know would cross if they saw a man running towards them. Regardless of race. The fact that you weren't there and you still know the man was black makes me think she is racist. Also I think many people have been conditioned to think women aren't as strong as men and therefore couldn't harm you. The only way I'm walking past anyone while I'm alone at night is if they have a child or a dog and even then I usually cross. You hear too many stories of women and children being used to lull victims into a false sense of security. ITT, people adding qualifiers that don't matter to justify racism. This person explicitly said if the man wasn't black then they, the runner, wouldn't have been afraid. That is racism. It doesn't matter if you would have done that with any man. It doesn't matter what the man was wearing. It doesn't matter if you're just trusting your gut and quad. If you say I wouldn't be scared if they weren't black, you're racist. Then doubling down with black people have a higher rate of crime just adds to the racism. That person is assigning the traits of a few black people to the entire black community just because they're black and wouldn't do the same if they weren't black. 100% racist. Do you actually care about being masculine? If so, why? Just a little bit. I used to be really scrawny. Played some basketball because I am tall. Soccer because it's fun. But I also liked art and some stuff typically women are inclined to but men aren't. Then when I got a girlfriend, I could feel that she wants me to take on some stuff that were typically more for the stuff of men. She said an earring would look good on me and a different haircut and she wanted to not split the bill every time we ate out. Maybe because her previous relationships were like that. No. Being a broad-shouldered 6 feet 4 inches relatively good-looking guy. I've realized that I don't need to worry about it. When I was younger, I struggled with the idea of masculinity in the same way I struggled with other social pressures to be a sale rack cliché instead of who I am naturally. I have no idea whether my phony, half-hearted attempts at mainstreaming myself contributed to my success in life or whether they were irrelevant. But I would guess that the former is the case. Gaining perspective is different from changing oneself. But perspective can help you to become yourself in a more interesting way. Yes. But not because I care about being masculine. The traditional male traits are good virtues to live by. Self-mastery, competence, strength, purpose, dedication, stoicism. They all have demonstrable value. I couldn't give a shit about other people thinking I'm masculine. I'm simply seeking to make the most of a genetic predisposition so I can do more with my life and protect those around me when necessary. And, like it or not, that's what men are valuable for.